Black Friday is just around the corner, and I thought I'd make the ultimate purchase guide for players in light of this momentous occasion arriving. Now, things are very special this year because we are in the midst of a massive boycott right now, and unless something drastic happens between now and Black Friday, we will be in the midst of the boycott by the time Black Friday rolls around. So, this guide will be geared toward helping players make the absolute most out of their crystals and how to get the biggest bang for your buck in the biggest discount period of the year without having to spend a penny. Now, before I get started, I want to put out a quick disclaimer. This is a subjective video, meaning a lot of things that I have to say is gonna be my opinion, basically. Of course, my opinion will be influenced by the players in the community that I've talked to, historical data that I recall from having played the game, and my experience, with characters and with my gameplay. So if you disagree with anything I have to say, that's fine. We might have different opinions from time to time, and that's totally okay. I just ask that you respect what I've got to say. I'm only doing this for the sake of helping those who might be clueless going to the event, because I feel like I have a good grasp on how to capitalize on this event very, very well, and I want to pass that information on to other people as well. So yeah. So with that out of the way, let's talk deals. Given that we won't be spending any money on Black Friday, I'm only going to go over the potential crystal deals that we will face. This means I won't be covering any crystal dollar deals or any of the dollar packages that the game offers for real money. I've never spent on those anyway, so I wouldn't know what they are. No, I'm only going to be covering things that we can purchase with crystals. This includes but isn't limited to uniforms, crystal wall characters, deluxe packs, and danger room characters. Now, let's go over these one by one, starting with uniforms. Now, uniforms are very, very important on Black Friday because we have an amazing opportunity when it comes to uniforms to stretch the value of our crystals. They are 50% off on Black Friday. Yes, you heard that right, 50% off, half off. I'm sure a lot of players who have played the game for a while now know this, but in case you don't know, half off, that is a lot. This is a discount 10% larger than the ones they give us all year round. If we are to milk the devs, if we want to stretch the value of our crystals, buying uniforms at this time will go a long way to doing so. So with that in mind, let's go over the uniforms that I think are worth purchasing. Firstly, you want to consider buying the most expensive uniforms. I'm talking about Silver Surfer, Odin, Dormammu. These uniforms are priced at around 2,500 crystals and are normally sold at 1,500 crystals with a 40% discount. However, on Black Friday, these bad boys will cost 1,250 crystals, meaning you could potentially save 250 crystals by purchasing these uniforms. This is the biggest crystal amount that you're saving, as you can see in the little table that I'm displaying below. It's simple math that dictates that buying the most expensive uniforms will make your crystals stretch the furthest. This, of course, is coupled by the fact that these uniforms are pretty damn good. Of course, more recent uniforms are the best. Dormammu's, Odin's, Silver Surfers are possibly the highest value ones on the list right now. However, characters like Jean, Thanos, and Apocalypse are still pretty damn good with their latest uniforms, despite their uniforms being kinda old. I really don't think you can go wrong with buying any of the most expensive uniforms in the game, assuming of course that you're buying the most recent ones. In case you're going to be really picky about the power level of these uniforms, here's a quick tier list I've cooked up for how good I think the most expensive uniforms in the game are. This accounts for the power level of the uniform and for its value as well. And of course, do note that when I refer to these characters, I'm referring to their latest uniforms. As much value as the most expensive uniforms have though, you can't not consider any normal priced uniforms, as there have been some absolutely amazing ones that have come out in this year or in the past year that you must purchase. These are characters that I and a lot of the community feel have the most value in the game. And with these characters, you can probably clear every single piece of content in the game. Now you can see there's like a healthy balance of characters in the list over here. For PvE content, you have people like Ghost Rider, Black Widow, Venom, Moon Knight, Medusa, Star-Lord, etc, etc. And then characters like Black Widow and Hulk, you have them. You're basically set for PvP, especially if you pair them with someone like Colossus or Taskmaster. I put an asterisk on Hela and Timtron because they're not exactly normal price uniforms. They're a little bit cheaper, but I will get into that a little later as well. And yeah, there's just so much value in these uniforms right now. There might be other good uniforms as well, but I think these are possibly the best ones in the game to purchase if you haven't already. These are the uniforms that I feel to be the must buys for this Black Friday, of course, including the expensive ones that I mentioned earlier. These uniforms on these characters will basically ensure that you're able to clear at least 70% of the content in the game alone. Now, having said this, I'm going to go over some special cases regarding uniforms. Now, if the holiday Deadpool uniform ever goes on sale, you snatch that up right away, regardless of how much it is discounted for. I don't care if it's available at full price. I don't care if there's no discount. You buy that. We've only ever seen that for sale once, and I don't know if we ever will again. We don't know how far the devs' greed goes, so if they even show a sliver of generosity this Black Friday, you take it. You take it, and you never let that go. The same goes for any of the premium uniforms, those being the ones on Enchantress, Cable, and Gwenpool, though none of them are as good as the holiday Deadpool uniform, so I will not stress their value as much. Hela is the only legendary battle related purchase that I would completely recommend. I would highly discourage buying any legendary battles during Black Friday since they never go on discount. And this kind of highlights how good Hela is still, because there are multiple reasons why. The legendary battle that she plays a role in is free. You get a free CTP of energy when you buy the uniform. And she's one of the few characters in the game that provides buffs against superhero types. We don't have a lot of those yet. I'm amazed that the value of her uniform is still so high because the uniform came out in like 2017. So I recommend that you pick that up right now if you haven't already, because this will be a much harder choice to make the day that Hela gets a new, shinier, and updated uniform, and I feel like that day might not be too far away. Now, Pimpron's uni isn't bad either. It's a good buy, especially because you basically get a CP of Rage, but the thing is you have to buy the legendary battles still, so it's not as clear-cut regarding value in comparison to Hela's. So yeah. Having said that, I would discourage buying Thor's and Loki's Ragnarok uniforms. Now, in the past, that these were some of the highest value uniforms because you get two pretty good premium cards. But the fact that those premium cards that you can get from their uniforms are available in the free premium card chest that we get like on a bi-monthly basis or something means that buying this uniform may make it so that you have less good rolls on the premium card chest. So I just don't think these uniforms are worth it now, especially considering that Thor has much better uniforms and Loki's probably due for a new uniform once his TV show drops. In any other case, I might put Sharon and Luna's uniforms in the S or A tier. However, given that we've gotten uniforms for them around the December-January period for 2 years in a row, I just cannot encourage it, with the odds looking likely that devs will continue this trend. I wouldn't encourage picking up any of these uniforms, knowing that there's a great chance they will become obsolete in a few months. But I understand that they're pretty good uniforms though, so don't get me wrong with that. Now, I would highly discourage buying fodder uniforms. What are fodder uniforms? These are uniforms that I feel are added onto updates in order to pad them out, just so that the game can, say on their advertisements like, oh, we have X amount of uniforms in this update. When in reality there's only like 1 or 2 uniforms that matter, with 1 or 2 of them being, just extra useless fodder. So what do I mean by uniforms like that? I'm looking at Kamala Khan, She-Hulk, Red Guardian, Wolverine. Now, these are by no means bad uniforms. In fact, some of them are great and rework some really bad characters. But they have very minimal impact on the meta, and I feel like they don't provide much value in regard to clearing content in the game. They just kind of update the characters in a way, and especially for characters like Kamala Khan or Miles Morales, I feel like they are due some much better uniforms later, and that potentially accompany tier 3s. So I just don't think they're good investments in the game right now, and I think that they're distractions from the true value uniforms in the game. And last but not least, regarding uniforms, the most important thing that I have to say is that feel free to disregard anything that I've said if you really love a uniform and want to buy it. Of course, any of the advice that I gave prior to this is only speaking with regard to the value of in-game content, I realized that there's value to be found beyond being able to clear world boss and being PvP meta as well. If Kamala Khan is your favorite character, forget what I said. Just pick up the uniform if you really love her. You know, like it's a game. You're supposed to enjoy playing it. And one of the best parts of Marvel Future Fight is getting to play with your favorite characters. This event is where you get the most bang for your buck regarding buying uniforms. So don't let some idiot on the internet tell you not to buy one you really love. At the end of the day, it's just a game. You gotta enjoy it. Games are meant to be fun. Enjoy it however you like. Okay, moving on to Crystal Wall characters. Last year, they gave us a 30% discount on all Crystal Wall character-related purchases. This including the initial 6-star character purchase and their bios or X genes after. So assuming that this is repeated, this might be something that the players consider as well, since bar specific events, these characters don't ever go on discount. So I feel like this is the easiest part of the guide. Mystique is the only one of these damn characters that's worth purchasing in my opinion. Everyone else is worthless or near worthless. Unlike with uniforms, the Crystal Wall characters are devoid of value. Bar Mystique, of course. The gulf in quality between her and the rest of the characters is insane and is an indicator of how bad the Crystal Wall characters have been over the years. I'm sure everyone knows how good Mystique is. I don't think I have to explain it. She's meta for Speed Villain ABX, one of the fastest Proxima Corvus clearers, and she's a support. She's pretty good. You really can't go wrong with her. Now regarding purchasing the character, I recommend making the first purchase that gets you the character at 6 stars, then using one of the many Mega Tier 2 tickets they've given us on the character to finish off their building in order to not spend any more crystals. At least that's what I'll be doing. But yeah, beyond Mystique, I just really think these characters are not worth it. Emma Frost, Iceman, Adam Warlock, these people are like so far from the meta, and yeah, just save your crystals on them, please. Now regarding Deluxe Packs have never gone on sale in the history of Marvel Future Fight. However, Black Friday usually rolls around with a pretty dummy thick crystal event accompanying it. And Deluxe Packs can go a long way to helping players complete those events, as each of those packs provide 1,500 crystals for compensation. I would not recommend purchasing these on Black Friday, but I can see some justification for doing so. So if you must, here's how I'd rank the Deluxe Packs. The Magneto Deluxe Pack is probably the one that has the most value, given that you get access to the strongest Deluxe Pack character among the 4, and you get access to the strongest native Tier 2 among all the epic quests as well. Nova probably provides the next best value, given that the farming resources from his pack can be stacked infinitely, unlike the mutant materials of the Magneto pack, and provides the second best Deluxe Pack character of the bunch. Now, I believe Invisible Woman is the worst character among the Deluxe Pack characters, but I feel like her pack provides higher value than Psylocke's for 2 reasons mainly. Firstly, the resources that her pack provides can be stacked infinitely, just like the Nova pack. Same argument, the mutant materials, there's a cap. Unlike, with gold and with obelisks, you can basically have as many of those as you like. And 2, I feel like her character has more uniform potential than Psylocke's. I don't know, I might be wrong on this one, but I feel like Doctor Doom Tier 3 is inevitable. And by the time it comes, Invisible Woman can get another chance at a good uniform. I could see an argument for Psylocke's Deluxe Pack being of higher value than Invisible Woman, so you can basically switch those depending on how you feel. But I just feel like they are the worst value Deluxe Packs in comparison to the Nova or Magneto pack. So there's that. Regarding Danger Room characters, as of the time that I'm recording this, there's no confirmation that Danger Room characters will be available for purchase on Black Friday. All we have to go off of is some data mine information from the Reddit. But I have a feeling they will be. I think it's a good idea for Netmarble devs to put these characters back up on sale, since, you gotta give people a chance to get these pretty rare characters. Now, if they do go on sale on Black Friday, this will probably be the only chance in the year that you get to buy these characters again. Of course, apart from having to unlock them from Danger Room chests. So here's how I would rank them. I really feel like Professor X is the only one that is worth purchasing here, because he is, without question, the strongest character on this list. He's the only character that can go to Tier 3 on this list, and even just removing that from the equation at Tier 2, he is the strongest of these characters. He's able to clear stage 99 at tier 2 back in the day anyway. I forgot. That's just what I heard. But yeah, he's pretty strong. Now Rachel Summers will probably be the next highest value, but I feel like the difference between her and Professor X is so large. The value that she has is basically only as a world boss striker, and that's it, which puts Negasonic and Abomination a tier below her, because I mean, they're good characters. None of these characters are bad, but if we're looking at value, I think they just don't provide much. Like, they provide what, like a stage 50, 60 world boss clear? That's just not good enough nowadays for me. Long story short, I think Professor X is the only one worth spending crystals on here. He's the only one that I can see an argument for. I wouldn't encourage spending on any of these other characters. Some final reminders regarding Black Friday. I don't think it's worth spending crystals on anything other than characters, at least based on the things they offered for sale last Black Friday. Things like Mega Rank Up tickets or Mega Tier 2 tickets are just not worth the price that they go for, especially given how often they give us Mega Tier 2 tickets nowadays. Now, this could be different if they put something like a Tier 3 selector up for sale or a Premium 6-star selector, but I think there's no use on my end to discuss the value of things that aren't even confirmed, so I wouldn't even think about that. But if they do come around, I might do another video discussing them, discussing their value, so yeah. Now, I expect the crystal spending event that they provide for Black Friday to cap out at around 12,000 crystals or more. Now, 12k crystals is the most of any of these crystal spending events that I've ever seen, I believe. But I could see Netmarble trying new things and pushing the cap higher. I don't know for sure what items they'll have on the crystal events, but I'm just letting you know this so that you can prepare in case there's something valuable in those crystal events, right? And if you need a few spare crystals, I encourage you to take some characters to level 70 as you get 60 crystals for, whenever you do this. Likewise, taking characters from level 50 or 60, taking them to those numbers will get you some extra crystals in case you have some spare characters lying around that you haven't done that for yet. If Netmarble isn't going to give us crystals, we gotta scrounge for every last tiny one we can find, right? And lastly, personally, I feel like spending crystals is perfectly fine during the boycott. Now, I thought this might be something that most people would agree on, but I've heard some people say that spending crystals defeats the purpose of the boycott, which I don't agree with. Crystals can be earned totally free. You earn them regularly, and for some, all the crystals they have been earned without spending a single cent. And you're telling players that they can't spend these because it would defeat the purpose of the boycott? I don't know. I feel like I don't see why spending crystals would go against the boycott. It's similar to spending gold or energy for me. I don't know, but for those of you who are wondering if crystal spending is fine during the boycott, you don't have to take my word for it, but I think it's totally fine. Whew. I think that's about it for the ultimate purchase guide. This is the absolute most cheap guide that I feel like I could have cooked up, and I try to make it as streamlined as possible. I really try to avoid all the distracting uniforms, try to look at the items that provided the most value here. Now, I don't know how many crystals you have, so it's really up to you how many of these items you choose to purchase. But I hope that this video helps you out when Black Friday comes around regarding which of these options you choose to buy, or how many of these options you choose to buy as well. Hopefully, I've been able to help you figure out a way to get the most value out of your crystals. And as always, thank you so much for watching.